on Sunday, and the world is watching in anticipation of retaliation from Israel. Although the likes of the UK, the likes of France, Canada, and the United States, they are all urging Israel to not retaliate, primarily because the attack on that country was not major. Just a 7-year-old who got injured, and reports are that child is recuperating. But we all know Israel. Israel is all about revenge. Israel is afraid that if it gives in an inch, then the likes of Iran will do everything that is possible to annihilate it, destroy it totally. So it will always retaliate. The extent of the retaliation, we don't know. But very often, that would have implications for small island states like St. Lucia with regard to the increase in the price of oil, any kind of increase in the price of petrol in St. Lucia. We know that there is a domino effect. The price of certain consumers, and that contributes to inflation. So Mr. Richard Pitterkin is saying those are the issues that are very much beyond our control. What is within our control? Crime. And he warns that if we do not get a handle on this problem, if we don't get control of it, the impact can be catastrophic, particularly the toll that it can take on the island's vital tourism industry. And we extract this clip from a report which was aired during the DBS News World last evening.
We can't blame the rest of the world for that. You can blame America for sending all these guns down here, but it's our people that are committing the crime, not Iranians, not Israelis. And until we can get that under control and diminished, it's going to be one of our biggest problems, because it could affect tourism, which, as you heard Minister Hilaire at the Jimmy Awards, he said it's the heartbeat, it's the life of St. Lucia. We can't blame the rest of the world for that. You can blame America for sending all these guns down here, but it's our people that are committing the crime, not Iranians, not Israelis. And until we can get that under control and diminished, it's going to be one of our biggest problems, because it could affect tourism, which, as you heard Minister Hilaire at the Jimmy Awards, he said it's the heartbeat, it's the life of St. Lucia.
You just heard there from chartered accountant and social commentator Mr. Richard Pitterkin. So we have the ability, we have the capacity not to eradicate crime, but to keep it under some level of control. And the Prime Minister at his press briefing on Monday of this week said a number of things pertaining to crime. For example, people believe that he has all the answers, and we don't believe that anyone has all the answers to our problems in this country, and by extension, the global community. But within us, over 8 billion people, we have the answers to the problems of the world. Within us, St. Lucia, about 180,000 people. Do not tell me that even counting St. Lucians who are in the diaspora, we do not have it within us, the capacity to manage the crime problem. I think there's a level of selfishness, and for the politicians protecting turf, you do not want to solicit assistance and support from people who are deemed to be political opponents, and therefore there'll be a lot of grandstanding, and those who are in office will try their utmost, as much as it can be very embarrassing, to come up with all kind of excuses as to why they cannot solve a particular problem. Leaders are there to solve problems. And if you're going to solve it in its entirety, you need to manage it. We cannot prevent a hurricane which is on course to damage the country or to hit the country. We cannot cause it to change course or change direction. But once the damage has been done, what we can do is to at least respond to it. And even before that, what you have mitigating circumstances. You have, for example, the capacity to reduce the extent of the damage. That's where the mitigation comes in. So you construct your home, you have proper drainage, you have insurance, you cut overhanging branches, etc. You try to minimize the damage because you cannot prevent the hurricane from hitting your country. So that is what is being asked of the current administration as far as crime is concerned. But I think it's a case where the Prime Minister and the government by extension, they're pretending in terms of how they're responding to it, that crime is not a major issue. And they are satisfied with just coming up with hackneyed phrases and making suggestions that, people expect them to prevent crime from occurring, but no government can do it. That's not the issue. That is not the argument. That ought not to be the argument. People do expect that there will be crime from time to time. There will be a homicide from time to time. But where it is something that is out of hand, where it is almost seem to be something that is predictable, that will occur every other day, this is not unfortunate, because to say unfortunate would be unlucky, but it is just unacceptable that you as a government cannot maintain tranquility in the country, and by extension in particular certain parts of the island. So the warning is coming from Mr. Richard Pitterkin. We can pay a heavy price as far as the performance of our economy, and in particular tourism arrivals, so that direct employment can be provided to the people via the tourism industry, and indirectly people can benefit as well. If there is a dereliction of duty as far as our response to crime is concerned, the tourism industry will be severely impacted, and we'll have to find the resources to market the island as a safe destination and to allay the fears of persons who want to visit St. Lucia. All is not lost, I believe, but time is very much against us as far as this scourge is concerned. We ought not to lose sight of our responsibility, and in particular, the government should not lose sight of its responsibility as far as crime is concerned. We open the lines right now at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp messages, not WhatsApp calls, but your WhatsApp messages at 716-2026. And as we say, good afternoon to you, Kimani. And of course, I know that you're monitoring the chat room. Can report what's happening there.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, we are at our worst ends. Another comment in the chat, Tim, can you give us an update on the condition of our roads? Haven't heard you update us on it for a while. That and crime used to be the talking point. Someone else says, how do you know that it is the Americans sending the guns here? That's it in the chat there.
All right, thank you so much. Let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages, because we normally have WhatsApp messages from the day before. Let me see if I could go through our WhatsApp message right now. What's my issue this afternoon is I believe it's fair that working organizations should pay NIC, no matter how small the business, because when one gets older, it leaves them without nothing, and that puts pressure on the state. It's also your responsibility as an employee to ensure that your employer is making the payments on your behalf. Another one says, Tim, I'm texting you from the health center at Leclerc, and it's ridiculous here from morning 7 o'clock to until now. I haven't seen the doctor, and I received the WhatsApp message 1:58 p.m. yesterday. Person goes on, it's a waste, service sucks, and the people here are no help to you. They rather see you suffer. and they keep numbers for their friends. I have had it with St. Lucia. A WhatsApp message, and we'll try to see if we can get as many as possible. Another person says, if it was UWP that was in power, the Labour Party would have their supporters to protest. But Labour in power, people afraid to protest, so who is the slave master there? Troopston, is it the white man that's killing our young men, or the black men who are killing each other? We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hey, Tim, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, let me tell you, what's the latest on the case between Mr. Healy and the former Prime Minister? Do you have any update on that?
I don't, but I read somewhere, I have no personal information on it, but I read somewhere that there was a matter between the former Prime Minister and involving the Comptroller of Customs, and I think the court would have ruled against the former Prime Minister.
But I'm sure if it was the other way around, that would be headline news on your station, right?
Cole, I'm just saying to you that no, you could laugh how you want.
Have a good afternoon, brother.
You're a joker, caller. You're a joker. You're obviously a joker. If I don't have the personal information, because I need to go through the transcripts and to understand the case, etc., before I could pronounce on it. 452-2979, 452-2979. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Yeah, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, Brother Harris.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, Tim. First of all, I just want to ask a little question there. I didn't hear it too well because I was really busy. Is it Rick that said something like it was the PM, the opposition leader, he would tell him to finish with that?
No, he said that if he were his wife, yeah, he would say to the leader of the opposition, it is time to call it quits as far as politics is concerned.
Yeah, I will not agree. That's one of the places I'll disagree with Rick, you know. When you stand for something that is just, and if you feel what he's doing is just, there is no reason for him to give up or throw in the towel and so on. Rick, Tim, when you stand for something that is just, you will suffer. God never promised us we won't suffer when we stand for something that is just. So I want to say whoever is doing the just thing in this nation, it can be the ex-prime minister, whoever, don't never give up in doing what's right and speaking against what's wrong. Okay, I just want to say that, and I'm surprised Rick, a guy like Rick that doesn't give up, he have been after issues from the time I really listened to him, and he never give up. The whole of St. Lucia have turned their back on certain issue, and he never give up. So I was surprised to hear that coming from him. Tim, what I want to say, a while ago you said about that war in Ukraine and so on, and the comment by Peter King. Number one, I just want to say that most people will say Israel this and that. But when you look at Israel and what they have been through, I'm not saying a tooth for a tooth. Imagine you have a communist country saying that Israel have no right to exist. Who are we to say human beings or each other that have no right to exist or go to hell and all these things? We cannot say these things. Israel, I know, will retaliate. Everybody's saying, okay, Israel didn't get much damage. But you don't wait until you get much damage for you to retaliate. You have to stop these type of things at an early age. Or else it will be too late when you want to retaliate. Iran is trying to produce nuclear weapon. And thank God they don't have it yet, as far as I know. And they have put all these nuclear weapons on these ammunition they fire after Israel. Well, what would happen? Anyway, Mr. Peter King said about preparing. How are we preparing? Tim, if you have a hurricane that is coming, and we know about it, we don't wait until the hurricane slam to prepare. We can't prevent the hurricane, but we can do something to minimize the damage. In the old days, people didn't worry about a hurricane. Now, when people have a hurricane, most of us, we go prepare. If we can put up an extra thing, we put it up and so on. We don't wait. Just like we don't have to wait until Ukraine or that one start a war. We say tourism is our main package, and so on. The slightest thing that happen with tourism, so we under the water, we don't have nothing. The crime situation continue, it's not going to stay like that. People are going to say too much enough is enough, tourists cut off. Okay, so we don't have to wait. And if we really want to start making plan before the hurricane, you know why we would start putting our eggs not in one basket like tourism? We would encourage agriculture for we to try and feed ourselves. We look at the world stage where there are wars and everything. People are starving to death. People are getting sick. Little babies are getting starving to death. If we start putting really things on agriculture and so on, at least when something happens, God forbid it never happened, but I know it will happen, we'll have something to turn to. We don't wait until everything's like the crime situation going on in St. Lucia. That didn't started now. That started long time, years ago. But we never did nothing about it, and this cancer grew. We look at, I was listening to NewsSpin, no, I always make that mistake, your show last night. And you know, what that police said is, although I was sleeping on me and so on, but I fight it, at least I heard some of it. You know, and it's surprising to see what the police is saying and what our leaders are saying. And the police is coming out and saying, no, we have not gotten 1 inch or 1 fraction further. Because if we have 6 vehicles and it match up, they just replace it. So there is nothing new about it. It's the same old game all the time. I heard Mr. They call him Sir Peter, the guy who make the comments about racists.
Sir Alex George.
I heard him last night, but I don't call him so. I respect him, but I don't call him so. Anybody who don't deserve, I think, or don't work as according to the example that the name they bear, I don't really address them like that. Mr. Alex George went back to a history about this, where that race thing started. He went far back, I don't even know. Maybe I'll not even listen to politics so much in these days. About that one called that one this and that one called that one that. You see, we let the past determine our future. And that should not be at all. I don't say forget about the past. We got to remember the past, that we don't fall into that same situation, that we move from it. Okay? Like, when God asks us to forgive men, He's not saying forget about it, but forgive men and remember what they did. So you don't go and fall into that same trap as He told the children of Israel. These things are written to us as an example that we don't fall after that Israel did. Tim, we come here again and we look at our situation in this country. You hear about people trying to come together and so on. These are just words. You have a word using, and that's what suits us in St. Lucia. Hypocrisy. That's the thing chain up that country. Somebody make a comment today, which I don't support, it's ungodly. But you'll hear some people come out because of the color and condemn that. But they never condemn, and they don't condemn certain things. And I want to let these people know, don't matter who it is, and so on. They do something wrong, you got to speak against it and condemn it. You don't condemn it when it's your mother or your father or your enemy. You condemn it whoever says it. And we have a thing going on in this country. We act like, you know, when a woman does something, we're friendly to somebody or married to somebody, and each time we want to have a nice time in bed, things that happened 10 years ago, we come, we forget about it. But each time, you know, we finish and our belly full, whatever, we bring up things that happened 100 years ago, and so on. This is not forgiveness, that's not forgetting about the past and let the future. One more thing before I close him, because there are a lot of people that want to call and so on. We have crime going on so rampage in this country. I never seen nobody really demonstrating, and when I say body, I mean people. I have seen demonstrated. Black life, blue life matters in terms of COVID and everything. Now we are killing each other, but these black lives now don't matter. We are insulting women in this country. You have women in politics. You have women on at the end, and they are shot. Them off a shot, not knowing that they have been insulted too. And our children are watching all these things. Tim, I have a lot more to say, but as I said...
Okay, let's try to get somebody else on the line, Brother Harris.
Yeah, thanks,
okay,
Tim.
thank you so much. Somebody says that the customs case is going to the CCJ. Another comment, this time is from yesterday. But before that, I suspect that we have a breaking story. Yeah. Source just sent me information there that homicide at Fuasho, and that is my home community. So let's see if we can get some more information. According to a source, homicide at Fuasho. Kimani, what's happening in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, we're on the animal farm team. They made their plans, got all the animals to kick the slave master out, and now they're walking on 2 feet. Tim, right now, leaders are not there to solve crime. They are there to give citizens mapui. Another comment. Let's see. Someone says, that's true, Mr. Harris. The vehicles are just being replaced because the police officers destroyed all what was there. So the PM of the day had to replace them. It's nothing new. Another comment, Tim, both you and Brother Harris started at the wrong point regarding Iran's retaliation. It didn't start with Iran, as both of you suggested. It started with Israel bombing Iran's embassy in Syria, killing Iranian generals and others. It is Iran that was attacked and it retaliated. Someone says they did straighten the tree when it was lit. They didn't straighten the tree when it was little, so now we are reaping the rewards.
I mean, we could go in circles on that who attacked who, because we could talk about the proxies, Hezbollah, which is closely linked to Iran, attacking Israel. So you could take it from, way back into history. But I just wanted to bring it to the most recent incident. And that is the most recent incident which occurred on Sunday and the possible fall. We should have confirmation before we conclude our broadcast this afternoon. All right, let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Mr. Timothy Poleon.
Rick Wayne, good afternoon to you, sir.
You must not let even my good friend, and he almost sounds like me these days, Brother Harris, not even Brother Harris, you must allow to misquote me, and for you to even say, basically agree with him. Tim, I have never given up on things I thought important. Never. You remember a few years ago when I was more into the game, where I created a rallying noise for the people in the country. You might remember it.
When was
Don't
that?
give up.
Mm-hmm. Give them up.
Set
them up, yeah.
I am not into giving up, Tim. I could have retired totally from this and be sitting in the States somewhere. I could easily have done that. I choose to stay here. Choose to. Where there's hardly any food variety, I have to eat basically the same thing you have to eat every day. And even the best nutritious food, you get fed up with it. You can't even trust what you buy in the supermarket if it's real. We have a lot of dangers. I'm trying like hell to avoid eating and killing myself in the process. We have a lot of problems that we don't even discuss in this country. So when we think we have problems, multiply it by 10. So let me repeat. I never said it would be out of place anyway for me to say Alan Chasney should give up. And whether they like it or not, Tim, I really don't care that much who is in office if I am happy with them, as a citizen. There's a French saying, I'll say it in English, I am the state, you are the state. I am the state, you are the state. But Fleming used it in French famously during the inquiry. So I'm not into telling anybody to give up on anything. And the kind of my discipline comes out of bodybuilding, you don't give up. You don't give up. And on that point, I want to give you my final thing on that point. Derek Walker shouted at me, particularly in a group among a group of people, after he had formed some impression of what the others had said, and I said I'm not part of that group, and you would have thought he patted me on the back for that. He did not. He shouted at me, and I've told you this before.
Yeah.
Until you have accomplished what you set out to do, and that's the part he screamed at me, you have not done enough. Until you have accomplished what you set out to do, you have not done enough. So stop talking crap about this and that. The problem is still you. You've not done enough. So get up earlier. Stay up later. Fight the fight. I also want to tell you also, I hope I'm not talking out of school and that he's going to be annoyed at that. It's nothing. I have... Philip J. Pierre, I've known 100 years. And I remember at a particularly low time when they were in opposition. When they were in opposition, I was talking to him, and he was not in a very good frame of mind, put it that way. And I said to him, you can't give up. Because I was there when he started, Tim.
Yeah.
And I knew him to be a good guy. I'm not going to go into that now because that needs a show by itself. Did he change or whatever? That's for another day. And I said to him, you can't give up. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the record. You owe it to your family and those solutions who believe in you, that you stick with it. Of course, sticking with it did not necessarily mean everything he did in sticking to it. That's not what it necessarily meant. But I'm telling you this, that it's a kind of mantra of mine. Doesn't matter who you are, what side you're on. I'm not going to tell you to give up on a dream. If you don't have a dream, how the hell are you going to make a dream come true? You see, that's from a famous musical. So, correct that. I never said. What I said yesterday was.
But actually, I did correct. I said to him that you never said that, eh? What you said was, you could imagine that his wife, if you're his wife, the wife would say that.
That's right.
That's what I said. I corrected him.
Thank you very much for that. My apologies to you.
Yeah, but I corrected him.
I hope Brother Harris heard that.
Yeah.
Tim, now, talking about colonialism and the racist thing and whatnot, we have a governor general, right?
Yeah.
We have government house, right?
We do, yeah.
Whom does the governor general represent?
Represent the king, King Charles.
What king?
King Charles.
Okay. He represents King Charles, correct. The myth that we revere and worship and bow to in the house, that we can't have parliament without it, that nothing said when the myth is there even matters. You know what the myth is symbolic of, Tim?
Tell me.
Royalty, the king. So here we have a country that has been independent, hate white people, and this time we take over our business, and we have to take over the CCJ that don't let Privy Council and white people determine for us. But the crown still rules over the house slaves, to quote somebody else. The crown still rules, both at government house. Now, is that comical or not? Do we look like a bunch of Tarzan black people? When we're running around, you remember the old days of Tarzan then?
I remember watching it on television, yes.
with the Africans, who are not Africans at all. They're all from California, but rolling their eyes and they can't talk to the animals. But a white man from England could talk to every animal in the jungle and dance with them and sleep with them. But the people who were born with those animals in their habitat could not. The minute they saw those animals, they had to run with their eyes rolling, and we would be laughing when I was a boy. We were laughing because it's funny. Because the matter of race just did not enter our heads. A thing was funny, whether it was yellow, blue, or white. But other people had other intentions with that kind of stuff. But we were innocent in those days. And now we have taken our innocence beyond into something else. So we now have to look at ourselves in the mirror and try not to see the Africans who are with Tarzan. Because while we're talking all our crap, we don't want a white man leading us, we don't want a white man there, and all this kind of stuff. The crown, we can't say boo, meaning that means anything in the house, if the mace is not there. And the mace is the representative of the king, it's the symbolic of the king. And every time we have this actor guy, he's been acting 3 years now. I think the better word should be pretending as opposed to acting.
Was that the Governor General, Errol Charles?
Governor General, and going through all the motions and all the parades and the throne speeches, even the word throne.
Do you know why he's not being confirmed?
I don't have to know. I just know we are monkeying things. That's what we're doing, monkeying things. Monkey see, monkey do. We've been independent 43 years? 44?
45.
45.
Yeah.
And we're still operating like Colonial, like we are colony, with Parliament, with Governor General, paying him money. What do we have a Governor General for? Who represents the Queen?
The
Maybe
king.
he should represent
The king.
the king. What do we have that for? Is that not an absurdity that we should be looking in the mirror?
It's purely ceremonial, huh?
Tim, ceremonial is a word for pretense. If it's ceremonial, it means it's nothing meaningful. So what are we being ceremonial about the King of England for? If we are serious about the things we say, what does ceremonial mean? That we have it at ceremonies? We don't have it at ceremony. We have it everywhere. It's the stamp. It's the stamp of real stuff. You cannot, whatever you might say in the house when the mace is absent, doesn't really amount to zilch. The mace must be there, or you don't really have a house in session. You know that. Same thing with Government House.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say finally that was that Azzy who called you a while ago?
No.
Azzy likes to play with you.
It wasn't.
Number one,
it wasn't Nazi.
It wasn't?
It was not. No.
Okay. And I like the way they asked you, Tim, you know about the case. They're going damn well just setting you up, you know. In the first place, Tim, my view is everybody won in that matter. Because it's the first time that a politician had the balls to actually take a stand like Alan Chastney took a stand there. And he's probably paying his own fees as well. Okay? And while the other guys are probably getting their fees paid by your taxpayer. So more than likely he's paying his own fees to at least test what he insists is right. We go to the court. There was a time when we used to burn things down.
Yeah.
There was a time when we used to have mercenaries, all kinds of stuff. And Alan Chastney does the right thing. He goes to court. And I think it was a win-win for St. Lucia, because now we know and don't have to speculate on the questions that Alan was asking. But my understanding is it's not over. He's going to
the CCJ.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to test the CCJ. What? But in any event, when cases come on matters like that, especially come to court, which is precedent setting, we all win, regardless what argument lost. There's no loss. We all win. We see the system working. We can challenge it, etc., etc. And lastly, it is wrong to say Alan was in a court case with Ernest Healy. He was not. I think you corrected that.
Yeah.
He was in a court case with the DBP, I suppose, and the
Comptroller of Customs.
The customs guy, etc. That was it. We must be very, very, very careful in the things we say, lest they go down in history, as what was said, when in fact it was. Thank you very much, Tim.
Welcome, sir. Still to come on the broadcast, vehicles and equipment given are replacements. So says the president of the Police Welfare Association, Mr. Cameron Law. Still to come, some of your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp messages, 716-2026. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329 or 285-8640 or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Get ready to turn up the heat with KFC's blazing burn-a-box deal. For only $30, you'll feast on 2 succulent chicken pieces, dive into the exclusive new bacon melt sandwich, savor crispy regular fries, and wash it all down with a refreshing regular drink. But wait, tune into the radio and keep an eye on social media for limited discount tickets and ticket giveaways to see Burna Boy on May 3rd. One lucky winner and 3 friends will snag VIP and backstage passes. Just grab your Burna box, jot your name and number on the receipt, and drop it in the box provided for your chance to win. Ignite your taste adventure with KFC's Burna box today.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, say the tingo. It's more with flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miko Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look,
check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start here, tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Robsai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Jefferson John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman. Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley,
She's royal, yeah, so royal.
presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission $130 EC dollars. VIP $400 EC dollars. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience.
Hey guys, guess what? Because your dad deserves more, Europa is giving more. They're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and all the moms who stand for dad, we are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. With turbo impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Missy, ça non vlog pour les gris.
Europa June 14th. I'm not.
Oh, 452-2979, 452-2979. Send me your WhatsApp messages at 716-2026, 716-2026, and we continue to monitor news of yet another homicide, this time in the Foasho community. WhatsApp message, somebody says there, I just want to comment on the decision from the appeals court in a matter between Mr. Chasney and the comptroller. Like I have said before, evil thrives when good people do nothing. I'm certain if the Director of Public Prosecution had made a statement or filed an affidavit, the outcome would be very different. But rest assured, the matter is finished in the court, so now the documents and information can be published in the public domain. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. And somebody says there, okay. Any comments in the chat room, Kimani, while we await your calls?
In the chat room, someone says, no one is taking blame. Everyone is blaming each other. What a shame. Priorities are not in order. At times, I think, Rick, you should call Tim on his spare time. Do you receive calls from Rick during your spare time, Tim?
Really? Not very often. I think he likes to converse with a wider audience as opposed to a one-on-one discussion with me.
Another comment. Rick Wayne, thanks for making some of the points about colonialism that I have been attempting to call Tim to make. The country is living under rules, laws, and customs handed to it by the colonists instead of replacing these with better. The government follows the colonial systems but pretends to be against colonialism only when trying to score cheap political points or to facilitate them and their friends as they did with the CCG. It's about playing politics and facilitating their doings.
Now imagine, Kimani, you've not had lunch. And somebody writes in the chat room, well, today I have roast sardines stewed with onions and pepper and 2 tranches bois pain or 2 tranches of breadfruit. I need a zaboka, please. And you've not had lunch. What does that do to you?
Oh, my gosh. In the chat, someone says, if Philip JP's government wants to fight crime and him as Minister of National Security really wanted to fight crime, he would have already done something with the impacts report, which is essentially part of the crime problem facing St. Lucia.
What's that message? Whenever I listen to your show, you always call on the Prime Minister to accept his responsibility regarding matters of interest, and for some reason it seems to have an acceptable response. I just listened to a recent interview with the Prime Minister where he never responded to the question asked. Instead, he went on to instruct us how we should ride in the tray of a pickup truck. This type of behavior should confirm to all St. Lucians everywhere that he's not cut out for the job, and that we should find a way to replace him with someone who has a better understanding of that responsibility. Well, unlike the likes of Italy and France and England, you know, we wait every 5 years to replace our prime ministers, and there isn't that kind of desire, it appears, in political parties to replace your prime minister. For example, Liz Truss served in the post of prime minister for only 49 days.
Right.
Okay, 49 days. That's all what it took. Once they realized, the Conservative Party MPs realized that she was not cut for the job, she was replaced. Okay. I'm not saying that the prime minister should be replaced. I'm not saying that's what that's what should happen. And in any event, the St. Lucia Labour Party would not want to replace Mr. Philip JP as prime minister. Because that will give the impression that the entire party, the party apparatus, and the government is incompetent, and that will set the stage for infighting. You know, people give the impression that there's this unity within the camp, etc., etc. So political parties, for that reason, seldom change their prime ministers in St. Lucia, and even a simple thing like a cabinet reshuffle, you seldom have that taking place in this country. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yes, hi, good afternoon, Mr. Poleon. How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you.
And to your co-host, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, I want to agree with a lot of what Rick said, especially in regards to what I call the vestiges of colonialism. I want to agree with him 100%. And I think it was a WhatsApp message you read about, you know, not changing our constitution to suit us. But Tim, before I go on to that, can I ask a question? What color are you?
My color, my complexion?
No, your color. If you have a color chart, what color are you?
What do you mean? My complexion?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm black. I'm dark.
Okay. You black or you brown?
No. I can't be considered brown, huh? Kimani
You
is brown.
cannot be considered brown.
Never.
Okay, all right. So you're dark.
I'm dark.
Okay. So what color is Mr. Shastney?
Mr. Shastney?
Yeah. What color is Mr. Shastney?
He looks white.
Okay, he looks white. Tim, I think we are all basically, how should I put it, victims of what we call scientific racism. Something that came out of a white supremacist ideology, which came out of Europe. Okay, if you want to do the research, the guy himself who basically invented the whole idea of brown, black, red, yellow, based on where you come from, and that's the colors that he used. Okay, brown, black, red, yellow, and white. Okay, the white are the Caucasians, the yellow are the Mongolians, the Americans are the Reds, which is basically the Indians, the blacks are the Ethiopians, and the Malayans, which is, like Asia, part of Asia.
But what is this obsession with people's complexion, whether they're white or they're black? When for years now we've been talking about people's character as opposed to their complexion.
Well, I agree with the whole character idea, but what I'm saying, this whole idea of looking at ourselves as black and white, because you said you're black. I look at you as a brown-skinned person.
Okay.
I don't look at Mr. Shastney or anybody else as a white person, because I've never seen a white person. So we should not continue into the same colonial ideology. Like I said, this is where this thing comes from. And I think Miss Dujon last week in her interview, she said it in Creole, but she said something to the extent that racism is of the devil. I'm not sure if you remember that statement.
Yeah.
Racism is of the devil. Tim, when you look at, in terms of the Bible, the Most High looks at us as peoples, tribes, and nations. Nowhere has skin color in, any form of significance in these ancient texts. So this is something, like I said, of a European construct, and we have to get out of that ideology. In fact, when you look at it from the beginning, if you believe in the whole creation story, we all came out of the dirt. What's the color of dirt, Tim?
Brown.
Brown. So we're all different shades of brown. So let's not forget who we really are when you really think about it, because we're not just flesh, we're also spiritual, and that's how we should also look at each other. So forget about the whole ideology of calling each other, because when we call each other by our skin color, or we basically put a brand on a person based on the skin color, we are thinking from a carnal standpoint, and that is why we have the problems that we have, because we continue to fight amongst each other based on something which is very simple, because we're so similar in so many ways, but this whole melanin, just a different shade of melanin, it basically disconnects us. And again, politics is based on polarizing people, dividing people, so it works perfect if you want to play the race card, whichever party you are. Good afternoon, Tim.
Same to you, sir. And here's hoping you're having yourself a pleasant Thursday. And also, some people have a superiority complex. Some people have an inferiority complex based on their complexion. You know, if you're black, then you see yourself as being inferior to somebody who's seen as white, and based on your hair, the quality of your hair, etc. But I think we ought to look at this from the perspective of our character. Because there are some certain crimes that happen in certain parts of the world, and you automatically believe it's a white person who did that crime, and sometimes it could be a black person or Indian, etc. So there isn't any discrimination in terms of our behavior. There is good and bad in all of us, but we need not look at things from the perspective of the color of our skin. There's more to us than what you see in terms of our complexion. I think we have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, caller.
I think politicians divide solutions, and the media have a lot to play with that. I listen to all talk show hosts in St. Lucia. I listen to your show. I listen to everybody's show. If you don't do that, you don't learn. We don't learn. People will not learn. Carrick just called the show and he sees a statement. Everybody on the back wagon is that statement. I was listening to that talk show with Champagne, I'm not sure, Champagne and them. And ring the bell, sees a statement. When he says statement, I say, what? When he say you had a white man to give him food than a black man, isn't that not racist? That is worse than what Carrick just said. It's worse than what Carrick just said. Carrick just should, Champagne should never say that. So what are you telling me there right now then? It's not Labour put racist. It's not Trouble put racist. We have a mentality in us. We have a mentality. You see a white man, when you see a white man, you're on our knees. When you see a black man, we take him from shit. And I went ahead, and Josie, I know somebody was really expecting to say something about it. Was Josie. Josie said that we like the couleur rouge. Why? We like that color. I'm not against Shasta. I will never get Shasta. What I'm against is Shasta policy. That's what I'm against Shasta. I'm a hotel worker. I deliver white people. Two, Rick said that something again on your show, which I disappointed Rick Wynn. Rick said that Philip J. was a good man. Rick, you don't know Philip J. I know Philip J. I work with Philip J. brother. I come from Marshall. I know Philip J. when he came to politics. His first meeting was downstairs my home. I was a United Workers' Party supporter. I voted for Roman Atlantico. You know why I moved? When I saw the way they treated Roman Atlantico, I moved. Philip J. is the same person I knew. I know Philip J. mother. I know his father. I know all his brothers.
So how did you treat Roman Atlantico? Tell us.
When Compton was going to move, Philip J. Nancico had he gave Nancico all portfolio. He was good in all of them. Nancico who put the bin by the road. Nancico is that day. He was all ministers in Nancico. When Compton ready to leave, all I was expecting Compton to give Nancico Prime Minister. I work in Nancico, I work in Nancico Cable and Wireless. That to show you. I was 60 this year. So that to show how old I am. And I'm telling you, 12 weeks, he don't know Philip J.P. If you know Philip J.P., I could give him my number and we'll sit down, have an interview with him and tell him about Philip J.P. His mother, his father, I could tell him about Philip J.P. So when he says Philip J.P. changed, it's not true. I'll try to explain why I tell you why that's not true.
But that is
Same,
his...
wait, listen.
No. I listen to you, Colin. I'm just saying to you, that is his opinion.
Yeah, I'm not...
Hold on. And his experience with Philip J. Pierre and yours might be different.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I listen to you.
Example, I have friends. I go to school with friends. All of us running woman. I get married. I stop running woman. I'm not changed?
No.
Yeah, I changed.
No.
I just showed to you.
It could be now you're doing your things behind closed doors. You're hiding.
No.
You're hiding.
No, I'm not hiding.
I'm just saying to you, based on your reference, I'm just saying there, you could be hiding your bad habits now.
Yes. Yeah, no one. Imagine, you know what I even said? I said, if I was the way I am right now there, I'd be better off in life. And next thing, I'm always telling people that politics is there to divide us. There's a lot of things Alan Shasta did, and it was wrong. And I think what we have to do right now, we don't have to watch the color, we have to watch the man.
Why you keep focusing on Alan Shasta did wrong? You're not telling me anything that the SLP did wrong.
Hello, let me say something. Philip, there's a lot of things Labour did wrong. I can't see many for that. Okay? All of us not perfect. Okay? Nobody, God, if you want to read the Bible tells no man perfect, no man but only him. Now, what I realized, we in St. Lucia, because of, we're so political, that if the same mistake Shasta do, we don't do it. The same mistake, Shasta do the mistake, we say nothing about it. Because you just statement that Shasta about the demonstration. Once I was in a demonstration when they had in cash trees, and they had a banner. I was at the back of the banner. I came at the front of the banner. I heard Champagne said that the banner say, no COVID, go on demonstrate. But I told my wife, what? But I wasn't funny, but I had it on my phone. I called Champagne on his phone. I said, come Champagne, but that's Photoshop. I told Champagne that is not true. If we're going up to, we have an election, we have two parties going up. When it's not good, it's not good. When it's bad, it's bad. But the way I watch me there right now, for the time Philip JP come there, it's bad for him. It's bad for him. I feel that is wrong. The Bible tell you, render Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and render God what belongs to God. The man do good, say he do good. He do bad, he say do good. But for people like you all, he never do good. Philip JP never do nothing good. All what he do is wrong. Everything the man do wrong. I say, my friend, that's strange. You see, we have to understand that.
But you have never said, in the 5 minutes I give you, you've never said anything Shasta did that was good, huh?
No, listen to me. Shasta do good things.
What did he do?
Shasta do good things.
Like what?
And in the good things he do, I'll tell you the good things he do.
Like what?
In the COVID, he don't give us no money, but he sent us to the NIC. That was a good thing he do. Because you get money. He take the money they give us the money they give him for us. He didn't give it to us, but he sent us to NIC and take the money. It was
Thank
good.
you so much.
I get the money.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon. You had your 5 minutes of fame. 452-2979, your WhatsApp messages at 716-2026. We take another call. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
And good afternoon, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, this whole thing about house slaves, this term has been abused to the core. And people misuse and abuse, and the way people use that term or that quote is abuse. I don't even know to what maximum to say. Because, you see, when you call someone a house slave, the term house slave came about because of people who were fighting for the abolition of slavery. People who were doing riots or burning cane fields and doing things to emancipate the African people. The people that was called house slaves they were not just living in the house, That term came about by people who snitched, people who went and gave the slave owners gave them information about the plans for liberation, for the abolition and for anything about slaves who wants to escape, slaves who want to, whatever the slaves were planning, the people who were going and bring back the information to the slave owners are the people they actually call the term house slave came about, because they were like these little pigeons around the slave master's house. Any little information they would go and tell the slave owners and slave masters and so on what the plan is in terms. And most times these people, if they were caught by or any chance that was given or any chance the slaves caught on them, they would kill them in the most cruel way because they consider these people as traitors of the movement, anti-slavery movement. So we must be very, very, very careful with that word. And some people want to use it loosely, as if they just want to say it en passant. Sometimes just because you tell them something that they disagree with you, and that is just based on opinion, not facts, they tend to want to go straight into something about slave master, not slave master, house slaves and all these things. I think our society must be careful about these things, be careful how we label people or give people this kind of name or try to give them any kind of remark, and it's based on calling people house slaves. We have to be very and extremely careful about that. Probably we need to go and get some kind of education and re-education and disabuse our mind with this kind of thinking that we have, because really and truly, it is not good for our society. It's not good for the generation coming. They need to know what these terms actually meant. Now, I have two more little points I hope I'll get the opportunity to make.
Be quick, because we have a commercial break, so be quick.
Okay, the young man who called you a while ago about slavery. Yeah, it was a guy who I'm from one of these states in America, a European guy who actually invented the whole question of this colorism for some reason, which I'll give you later because I have a more important point I want to talk about anyway. But the point about crime, Tim, some statement was made some time ago that when the police get a few guns off the street, maybe it's not serving them no good. It just encourage guys to get more guns or to preserve or to reserve or to have reserve, guns on reserve. They have 2 or 3 more that when the police take one, they have another one. The whole question now, Tim, is the custom guards, Slasper's police, are these people corrupt? Because it is these days, Tim, it's been established that most of the guns that are entering St. Lucia are coming through our legal port of entry. It is very well established. So the whole thing about backdoor, it's not really prevalent as people thought. So who you think is causing these things to come in the country? So how are we going to stop this, John? Tim, if we don't find a way to get rid of these corrupt custom officers, custom guards, and custom police or Slasper's officers, we must. This is where we need to start.
Yeah, but in the interest of time, you said that it's well established. I don't know that it is well established because I don't have the evidence to prove that. How do you determine it's well established that it's coming through our ports?
Because, Tim, even there was some situation just recently where most of the guns that was caught or that is in St. Lucia came from free barrels, and these barrel concessions that even custom officers had barrels with guns, and all this kind of talk was going on. We don't know how these things continue.
But you just said talk is going on. We have no way of proving that, sir.
Do you know the reason why we can't prove that, Tim? It's because we are not doing the right thing.
If
We're keeping corrupt people in position.
If we cannot prove it, we can't say it.
And you know what happened, Tim? All the killings that's going on in St. Lucia, it doesn't happen then because you can't prove who killed who or who didn't kill who. So you just find fellas killed and nobody killed them. They just died. So they just got shots coming from nowhere.
I'm just saying to you, you did not prove your point. You did not prove your point that most of the guns are coming through our legal ports. You did not prove your point.
Well, you know something, Tim? What we need to do, if this is not true, and if all the shootings that are going on, we don't know who's shooting who, and we don't have proof of is Tom, Dick, or Harry, what do you think we need to do, Tim? Set up proper investigations, set up proper mechanism, put proper mechanisms in place to make sure that we are sure where these things are happening, how these things are happening. The last time we had some kind of Ramsahoy or whatever statement about crime in the Caribbean and crime in St. Lucia and in everywhere. What did they do? They pay a guy monies to look into these things. So we need to do the same thing. If guns are coming in the country and we cannot ascertain as to what front it's coming from, if it's from the back door or if it's from the front door, then we need to do the proper investigation. We need to put proper mechanisms in place so that we will know. That's why crime is happening. We don't know where guns are coming from. We don't know what is the main area where guns are coming from. So I have to speculate now, and you have to tell me, well, you're just speculating. Why should it be that way, Tim? If the crime is permeating in the country, if crime is what is increasing in St. Lucia and it's going to damage our economy, it's going to damage the tourism industry, it's going to damage almost everything, it's going to probably scare people from coming to St. Lucia. Don't you think we need to do everything possible to put a halt to crime? There are places in the world that doesn't have much crime, Tim. There was one time Giuliani almost stopped crime in New York. So why now we making it look as if, well, there's crime everywhere, Garçon. We can't stop crime. Police can't be everywhere. And all these sort of little, kind of loose talking, and nothing is being done. So we are here now. No one, even those who were responsible, Tim, for dealing with the question of crime, the whole scourge of crime, is telling you they don't have answers. They are not they are not rocket scientists. We can find ways, but we are not doing what is necessary. Okay. We are not putting the mechanisms in place, and that's the problem, Tim.
Okay, April, thank you so much. The broadcast will continue with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages in just a bit. This is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilex.com for assistance. Lucilex encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the thing go is more with flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more with flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video can't stop. Unlimited talk so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more say the thing go. It's more with flow now you really know. Get you now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. To start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start here, tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Craving an unforgettable experience? Immerse yourself in pulsating rhythms. Libate your palate with the finest booze. It's Rhythm and Booze, a jazz Sunday unlike any other. Indulge in a breakfast-inclusive event at the Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dance to the sounds of St. Lucia's hottest DJs and savor your favorite breakfast dishes. Rhythm and Booze. Get your early bird tickets now for $150, $175 regular. Available at all sell outlets and eventbrite.com. Don't miss this unforgettable Jazz Sunday. Rhythm and Booze. Sandals Golf and Country Club, May 12th. Rhythm and Booze. This event is powered by Chairman's Reserve, JB Chenet, and KFC.
Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone.
Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Robsai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Jettison John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman. Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley.
She's royal, yeah, so royal.
Presented by the Soufre Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufre Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission $130 EC. VIP $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience.
Hey guys, guess what? Because your dad deserves more, Europa is giving more. They're bringing back the wow on Friday, June 14th with the very popular Culture Day for Father's Day. Last year was a blast and this year will be explosive. So fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, all the dads of St. Lucia and all the moms who stand for dad, we are knocking out 15% discount on all pressure washers, vacuum cleaners, upholstery cleaners, in fact, on all carton machines. And that's not all. With turbo impact drills, rotary hammer drills, angle grinders, power saws, jigsaws, and sanders too. This year we are throwing the kitchen sink out for dads.
Missy, ça non vle encore. Pour les gris.
Europa June 14th. I'm not.
Issue of racism in the politics of St. Lucia,
started off, number one, by John Compton. When John Compton had the fight with the Barnards, right, in 1957. Okay? Then you had the situation where Compton himself said that there was no way in which he would allow a Barnard, meaning Kenny Anthony, to come back and rule the country. That's one of the reasons why he went back into politics. All right? And he attacked Kenny Anthony as a member of the slave owner group, although the Barnards were never slave owners, right? Then you had whereby during the fight between the SNP and the UWP, where Vaughan Lewis said that was going to be a fight between the son of a slave owner, right, and the son of a slave. That is what was said. Then you have the position where Michael Shastney himself, Alan Shastney himself called Dr. Anthony Massa, the Massa man. And I sent you the clip. So you should know. That is my reply to you, Timothy. I am not making any kind of excuse, no kind of apology to anybody. All right? The position, my position is a personal position. It has nothing to do with the St. Lucia Labour Party. It is my position on my observations and so on of the behavior, the demeanor, and the way in which Alan Shastney has conducted himself. The man has disrespected every single speaker of the House, including two of his own. And his mannerisms inside there are very, very clear. So I am not going to go into more details than this, Tim.
You just heard there from Sir Calix George making a contribution to last evening's News Make Alive on DBS television. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979. Kimani, the chat room, what's happening there?
In the chat, someone says, Ipa, where is the evidence? Many of the guns caught are found in the ports. Agreed. However, many are coming through the beaches and illegal landing of vessels with the drug trade. There are loads of evidence and not enough resources to patrol the beaches. Another comment, Ipa, can you go make a police report on these corrupt customs officers? Someone says, that is not what politics is based off, caller. Politicians and the electorate are the ones who allow that narrative. Another comment, cabinet reshuffles should happen more often if the elected official isn't operating in the best interest of the people. We need to remember that government serves the people, not a political affiliation. What does the color of an individual's skin have to do with governing a country? This is only a smear tactic by the Labour Party government to continue playing on the minds of the poor and vulnerable people of our country. Someone says, Tim, most other people would say he should be replaced. I think there are other people in the party that would do a better job. Referring to the Prime Minister. Yes, Rick, a good example. We use Negmao to mean ignorant when the Negmao was the enslaved African who risked death for freedom.
And Rick says, I never said PJP had changed. I said I knew him as a good guy, even if we may not agree with some of his decisions. Coming from Rick Wayne.
Another comment, so many experts on the past, yet they offer nothing on the path for a better future. It's after all the bitter, racist and divisive people are dead and buried that St. Lucia will get a chance to start doing better. Another comment, so you realize that he didn't say Sir John Compton when Sir John was more deserving of the Sir than Calix George. He can run and jump, none of them can fit in the shoes of Sir John, even if he's dead.
Somebody says that we need some clarification from the water and sewage company about the water bills in the area of La Grasse Labrie. We are getting bills from $35 monthly to $300 from the time they changed the residents' meters.
Someone says, rule or govern the country. Interesting choice of words. Another comment, those that are saying that they do not want a white man, what are they doing for St. Lucia as blacks? Just confusing the nation. I have been saying that for years. If the king wants a representative, he should pay the salary. St. Lucia's independence is not absolute. England is responsible for St. Lucia's external security. In the case of a war, the UK is responsible to protect St. Lucia. Another comment, Tim, Richard Peter King is absolutely wrong when he suggested that we could blame the US for the guns that reach our shores. Whether they come from the US or otherwise is irrelevant. The US has its own problems and internal battles with guns and gun control. They do not export guns clandestinely to us. We have to put our own measures in place to stop illicit guns from coming into our country from any source. We have no one to blame but ourselves and our blatant and crass incompetence. This is called taking responsibility. That's it.
Thank you so much, Kimani. And finally, we'll hear from the president of the Police Welfare Association, Mr. Cameron Law. He was on last evening's News Make a Live broadcast on DBS television, responding to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has been making constant reference to his administration's donation of vehicles and equipment in record numbers to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
We have heard that, for a very long time, that we have given 30, we have given 20. Most of these vehicles and equipment that have been given are just replacements. They're given new and probably even more are decommissioned. So it really does not even make a dent in terms of the equipment that is needed by the police to do what they're supposed to do. So if I will tell you, I have not seen, since I will say World Cup 2007, there about 6-7, any significant number of equipment being given to the police for their operations. Since that time, it has been replacing. You get 5 new bikes, you have 3 or 4, even the same 5 being decommissioned. So we have not had any significant increase in terms of vehicles and the number of equipment that is needed. You have police officers today still sharing a bulletproof vest. That you come to work, you are being given a bulletproof vest to perform your duties. You drop it back at the end of your tour, and the tour coming in will use that very same vest. That is unacceptable.
President of the Police Welfare Association, Mr. Cameron Law, on last evening's News Make a Live broadcast. Time for our question of the day. Why is the Prime Minister at his wit's end? Why is the Prime Minister at his wit's end? Our question of the day. And our final feature is our NewsSpin News of the Day. Dubai sees severe flooding after getting 2 years' worth of rain in 24 hours. Dubai sees severe flooding after getting 2 years' worth of rain in 24 hours. Our NewsSpin News of the Day, and that is the broadcast for today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon. Be safe and goodbye.